Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to part 3 of my Thaumcraft 4 mod spotlight. I've covered a lot of stuff in parts 1 and 2, and if you haven't watched them yet, you better go check them out because everything I'm going to cover today requires the knowledge from the last 2 spotlights. So today, we're going to take a look at a couple different awesome things that Thaumcraft 4 has to offer. We're going to take a look at how to move nodes around. We're going to take a look at some of the different wand upgrades that are available, a lot of the different toys that you can get. I've picked out a few of my favorites and stored them in my inventory for use. And then finally, we're also going to be looking at Taint and its effects on the world. Now, Taint can get pretty nasty, so you're going to want to make sure not to be anywhere near it, but don't worry, there is a way to manage it. Alright guys, let's get started taking a look at the rest of Thaumcraft 4. So the first thing that you're going to start to discover as you start playing around with your wands is that 25V is really not that much. But you know what? It really gets frustrating having to find all the different aspects throughout the world to try and fill them up. So we've got a couple aspects laying around here. And just for those of you who are playing in creative and want to test things out, just so you know, you can get nodes from your creative inventory. No way to craft this. You can even see it right there. Creative mode only. This is only for when you're, testing in a test world or cheating or whatever else you might do with aura nodes. Okay? But they are available for you for creative mode. And you can see I've got a few placed here. But even though I've got this wand, you know what? When you have to find them legitimately throughout the world, I'm not going to say they're few and far between, but you're definitely going to have to travel around a lot, especially if you want to fill up your wand. So it's going to be really convenient for you to get one of the earlier researches, luckily, and that would be Node in a Jar. Cool. It's really not that hard to do. If you take a look here, you can see that Node in a Jar just requires some glass and some slabs. Any kind of wood slab will do. And it's pretty easy to do. The only downside to it is that you do need a lot of V stored in your wand. You're going to need 70 of each V stored in your wand in order to get a node in a jar. Well, unfortunately, my basic wand only has 25 of each V type. So we're going to have to upgrade this guy. Let's take a look at some of the wands that are available in our Thaumaturgy tab. Okay. Now there's two different things that modify your wands, and I'm going to show you both of them right now. So you can see basic wand craft gives you all the information you're going to need to know about your basic wand. Now there's two things you can get. You can get your cores and you can get your caps. Okay, let's take a look at cores first. One of the first ones that you can upgrade to is the Greatwood Wand Core. Now this guy is going to double the amount of V storage available. So pretty much your wand cores determine how much V is available inside your wand. So you can see here that this guy, if you got yourself a Greatwood rod and you went ahead and made that, and then you added some caps to it, you would wind up with a wand that could store 50 V of each type. Pretty cool. Now, upgrading further, you'll see a bunch of other types of wands. One of the first ones you might want to check out is the Obsidian Wand Core. Okay, this guy is pretty cool. What it does is it's a little bit superior to Greatwood cores in that if the level of Terra stored inside it drops below 10%, it will slowly replenish without the use of a node. So basically, it'll always keep up to about 10% of the Terra aspect available. Now we've got other nodes that do similar things. You can get a Blaze Wand Core that does the same thing, but it's for 10% up to the fiery aspect. Okay, Reed Wand Cores do the same thing, okay, but they're going to upgrade air. So you can see it upgrades the air up to 10%. So basically you get to pick which wand you want, and it'll go ahead and recharge the V in the wand. Let's give it a shot. I'm going to go ahead and give it the Bone Wand Core. That sounds like a good time, or maybe the Reed one. Yeah, let's do Reed. All right, that'll keep my air aspect filled up. So I just need a couple sugar canes and an arcane bench. Let's get this going. So what do we have to do here? Well, we can get our basic iron-capped wand, and we can go ahead and place these in here, and you can see for the simple cost of 6V, it'll give me a reed rod. Cool. Now, this iron-capped reed wand is going to cost 6 of each type of V. Not a big deal, but now I've got it. Now we can see here that we currently have 0. I'm just going to sit here for a moment and see what happens. There we go. I just got 1 air aspect out of nowhere. We can see here, then we mouse over it, we have 1 air. And we're again at 100% V cost, so nothing's changed in terms of how much V is cost. We just got another point. So this thing keeps all the way up to 10%. Not bad. I wonder how much it can store. Let's drain some V out of these nodes nearby. So I just went and filled up some of the aspects, and we can see that this guy can store 75 of each aspect. And I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know that all the other wand cores that are at this tier can store 75 of each aspect. Just the different ones determine which aspect gets automatically recharged up to 10%. Now the final wand core to show you is the Silverwood wand core, which can store 100 V of each type. So that's the maximum that you can store, is the Silverwood wand core. You're going to need to find a Silverwood tree though and chop it down to get its wooden logs. Okay. Now next up we've got these awesome guys, wand caps. Wand caps basically allow you to have a bit more efficiency. Remember, when we didn't have anything on here, this guy has a 10% extra V cost. Not so great. But if I were to go ahead and get myself a reed rod again, and I were to get myself some golden wand caps, there we go, we should see that this guy, once we craft it, so we can see here this golden banded reed wand. Okay, if we go ahead and just put a little bit of an aspect into it, we'll note that it has 100% V cost, as opposed to the basic iron capped one, which has 110%. So the better cap that you place on the wand leads to more efficient casting. This works for when you're crafting, works when you're casting your spells. Pretty much anything that uses V will be more efficient. Now silver wand caps are a little bit more efficient with regards to the 4 elemental primals, fire, earth, air, and water, and copper caps are a little bit more efficient with Ordo and Perdito. And finally, you've got Thaumium caps, which are the best, and these guys are a little bit more efficient, better than 100%. So they're kind of the best. If we take a look here, we can check out pretty much the best wand is available in NEI here. It's the Thaumium Bossed Silverwood wand. This guy, again, can store 100 V of each type, and if we take a quick look, we should see that it has only a 90% V cost. When you combine that with your entire robes and your goggles of revealing, you're coming down to an 80% cost. So really pretty nice overall. Now once you get a really good wand, it becomes practically impossible to accidentally drain the last bit of aspect out of a node. Now if you want to drain it, you can hold shift, and it will drain the last couple out. But if you don't want to accidentally do that, and that's what I recommend, is that you don't do it, because like I said in the first part of the spotlight, it will go ahead and possibly not regenerate that aspect anymore. You can only do this if you have the node preserver research, which goes ahead and makes sure that it keeps at least 1 V of each aspect in the node unless you are sneaking. Again, that's only available on the higher tier wands. So why don't I fill this wand up with a bunch of V, and we'll be right back. And again, just in case you're unclear, you will never find V nodes clustered like this in the wild. I've cheated them in just to make this spotlight easier. Trust me when I say once you get towards the end of your magical career, you're going to have trouble keeping your wand filled. Okay, we can see here that this wand stores 150 V of each type because it's the most upgraded and the best one available to you. So let's take a look at what we can do in order to help us to refill these wands. What you're going to want to do is run around the world, find some really good aura nodes that have a lot of aspects that you want in them. Obviously I just drained this one, but once it recharges it's going to be a lot better off. Okay, so let's go ahead and surround it with glass. There we go. Once it's surrounded in glass, go ahead and cover the glass with oak and wood slabs. Now this is going to cost a little bit, but don't worry, it shouldn't be too bad on your energy costs, especially once you've got an upgraded wand. If we take a look in our basic information here, we'll see it's 70 V per operation, but again, it's not that bad because we can do it with a wand that has 80% V costs. Nice. Let's go ahead and shrink this down. Ta-da! We've got a node in a jar. You can see that it's now stored in the jar. We've got Ignis and Terra in there. And it's real easy. We can go ahead and decide where we want to put it. So maybe I want to keep these nodes all near my infusion table. Simply place down that node in a jar and then right-click with your wand. It does destroy the jar doing that, but now the node has been relocated and you can charge your wand again. Now the one downside is this is sometimes it's a random chance, I want to say it's like 25% chance that when you pick up a node, it's going to become a little bit more dim. Bright nodes will drop down to normal, and normal nodes will drop down to pale, which means they're going to recharge a little bit slower, but it's really not the end of the world. You still get to clump a bunch of nodes into one place, and then once you've done this a few times, you should have a large number of nodes nearby that you can quickly recharge your wand from each one of them. Awesome. Well guys, I was just doing a little bit of running around the landscape, and look what I found. Dun dun! Taint. Alright, that's half a lie. I did chunk load this area to make sure the taint would spread before I showed it to you. That's the truth. Boy oh boy, do we have some nasty stuff going on here. At this time, the tainted lands will only spawn in part of world generation, or there's a chance that one of the aura nodes nearby could be a tainted aura node. It's not that one I checked, don't worry. So that's not the one we're looking at. See, it's just a normal aura node. But tainted aura nodes can cause tainted land, which is technically a biome. You can see here that my biome right now is tainted land. If I move out of it, I'm back to the extreme hills biome. Tainted land is pretty nasty. If you walk across it, you could get poisoned and take damage. You can see we've got the flux taint effect going on up there. It's pretty nasty stuff. It also corrupts any nearby animals and creepers and a bunch of other bad guys. So watch out for that. And it really does spread. I'm not kidding. This was not out here when I came out earlier. I chunk loaded the area and now it's all over the place. It's pretty bad. So, hey you, go into that tainted land. Let's see if we can see a tainted pig. No such luck, but do rest assured that there's some nasty stuff that can occur in these tainted lands, especially once the taint spreads more and more. You'll start finding nasty crusted up taint blocks like this thing, tainted soil, pretty bad stuff. And you'll eventually start having special tainted enemies spawning in this area. So watch out when you see taint, stay away from it, at least until you've really gotten much better at your magical stuff, because trust me when I say this taint is pretty nasty. Oof, stay away. Alright guys, at this point I think I've showed you pretty much all the mechanics of Thaumcraft, so why don't we get into some of the really cool toys that you can check out. Now, there's a ton, and I mean a ton of stuff available in Thaumcraft that I haven't even shown you yet. I'm not going to show you everything. It's your job to download the mod and start playing with some of the advanced toys. I'm going to show you a couple of my favorites though, because there's some really neat stuff that you can do. And there's plenty more planned. Trust me when I say that this is an early version of what's to come, and Aznor has a ton of things planned. So let's take a look at some of the nifty gadgets we can check out. One of my favorites is the Axe of the Stream. It hasn't really changed much from Thaumcraft 3, so if you're familiar with it from Thaumcraft 3, this shouldn't come as much as a surprise to you as to somebody who might be new to it. But simply hold right click, and the Axe of the Stream is going to find all nearby wooden blocks of the same type and chop them all down. It's a great way to chop down a tree very quickly. Oh good, we're clearing away tons and tons of the tree here. Nice. And we can chop this guy down and boom. Real fast, chops it down. Now that's holding the right click. If you hold the left click, it'll go a little bit slower and use less durability. But right click is really the way you're going to want to go. It's much faster, and choose through the durability though. Next up is the Pickaxe of the Core. Very nice little tool here. Go ahead and mine with it, and occasionally you'll get these native iron clusters instead of the iron ore. Now what those do is if you smelt them, you'll get automatically 2 iron bars. Pretty good way to go about doubling your ore. It won't be exactly double because you don't always get the native iron cluster, but definitely a good process to give a shot to. And you'll see here, there we go, native iron cluster. Cool. Oh boy, what is all that? That would be the right-click feature. You can see any valuable materials nearby. Let's dig down and see what we can find. Oh boy, there's got to be something valuable down here. Nice. There we go. Found some uranium. Yes, tons of stuff nearby to check out. Another personal favorite of mine, just because it's so whimsical, is the Hungry Chest. Just drop any item on top, and it gobbles it up. Om nom nom. Nice. Any item that lands on top of it will automatically land inside. So we can just drop this stuff in, and boom, there it goes. Pretty awesome. Now, if you want, you can combine this with the Infernal Furnace, which is a really good way to smelt stuff. Let's take a look at how we make an Infernal Furnace. It's right here. Oh boy. So making one of these things really isn't too bad. We can see here inside of our Thaumonomicon, it tells us exactly what to do to make an Infernal Furnace. Okay? we need to get ourselves some iron bars and a lava source block, or a bucket of lava if you're not cheating. There we go. And let's see if this works out for us. Ta-da! Cool. This is a great combination way to do this. Now, the other option you might want to go with is this nifty guy right here, item grates. So the way this works is, first off, you just drop any item in there, and it will slowly smelt. Now, it's basically free. It does release a little bit of negative effect into the environment, but it's kind of slow. So a good way to speed that up, oh, there we go. It spits the item out the front, and that item, the piece of stone, just landed inside the hungry chest. Cool. Now, the item grate is a great way to help out with this thing. You can place it right on top here. Cool. Now, item grates are great because they let items fall through, and you can see it all landing right in there, but you can right-click the item grate, and now the item can't fall through. This thing also responds to a redstone signal to determine whether or not to let items in or out. So item grates are a good way to turn on and off this feature. Another thing you can get here is the arcane bellows. So let's go ahead and get some of those. These guys will help increase the speed of the furnace. Just place it on the sides. Now the furnace should start smelting things just a bit quicker. Cool. Way to go. Finally, if you put a warded jar with some Ignis Essentia inside, it should help to speed things up just a little bit. Let's give it a shot. There we go. Now it'll go even faster. Do note that you should place the jar in the front of the furnace. There we go. Oh, nice. Oh, that's much faster now. If you drop iron ore in there, or even food, it's possible that when smelting, you'll get a little bit of a bonus by way of nuggets. So there is a chance for some extra ore coming from your iron ores. Beautiful. Speaking of mining, how about I show you the arcane bore, another one of my favorite tools. There we go. Simply place the arcane bore base and the arcane bore on top of it, and then use any wand and right-click on the side of the block that you want it to face. Excellent. Inside the interface, you're going to need to place one of two things. First off, you're going to need to place a pick in there. This will mostly determine some different traits, such as how much durability the pick has, because the pick will take damage. But you'll also maybe want to put the pickaxe of the core in there if you want to, and that gives it other properties like native clusters, which means it'll occasionally pick up those native clusters, just like when you were using the pickaxe of the core in your inventory. The other thing you're going to need is an excavation focus. So that's the wand focus that allows you to dig, and you can see here how it works. Now you can also put enchants on both of these, so if you put the looting enchant on, it'll apply looting, and if you put other enchants like speed on this thing, so we can go ahead and put something like, if we put potency 5 on there, which I just picked at random, we'll see that it increases the width of the bore. Cool. And we can enchant our pick as well. Finally, you just need to apply a redstone signal, and it'll start mining for you. Awesome. Now all the items spit out the back. If you want, you can place any vanilla chest there, and it'll get stored inside the chest. Another option for moving items around is the magic mirror. So the magic mirror is a pretty neat little device. Let's give it a shot, shall we? You can see once you've placed the magic mirror in the world, you can right click on it with another magic mirror and it'll link them. Awesome. This magic mirror can then be given items in the form of just dropping them down. So like this. Once you place them two down, you'll see that they're connected, and any item dropped in there will magically be teleported, even across dimensions. You can even get yourself a hand mirror, like so. Link established. When you right click on it, any item placed in there will automatically be placed through the magic mirror dimension and connected. Dropped right into the hungry chest. Nice. If you're interested in movement, I recommend the paving stone of travel. These guys are pretty awesome. Basically, when you're walking around on them, your player will move a little bit faster. Note that I get the speed 2 and jump boost effect. Awesome. Conversely, you can get yourself the Paving Stone of Warding. This is a really useful block. I've created a small square using the Paving Stone of Warding blocks right here. I'm going to go ahead and place a cow inside. And then I'm going to hit it to make him run away from me. Haha, sorry Mr. Cow, but you can't get out. That's right, these blocks prevent any entities from walking across them. They basically pretend like there's fence blocks on top of it. So entities can't get out, and entities also can't get in. So it might be a nice thing to set this up around your house so that no zombies come giving you any trouble. Sorry guys, no chance. Watch out though, because they might be smart enough to pathfind around, but they can't get in. Finally, we've got the Arcane Levitator, which is an awesome little block for use as an elevator. You can apply a redstone signal, which turns it off and makes it do nothing. However, when it's on and a player walks over it, they'll slowly be pushed up. Careful when you fall off, though, because it can hurt. But once you're flying, you can also hold shift to slowly sink down to the ground, and you won't take any falling damage. Pretty cool. Now, like I said, there's a ton of other stuff that I haven't shown you yet. These are just some of my favorite items within Thaumcraft 4. There's a lot more that you can do with it. There's a lot more available, and let me be the first to tell you that there's a ton more coming. Asnor has some really big plans, a couple top secret things that he filled me in on, so you will be seeing an updated mod spotlight at some point in the future where you get to see some of the other cool stuff that he's implemented between now and then. But for now, this is Direwolf20 signing off on part 3 of my Thaumcraft 4 mod spotlight. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and as always, take it easy.